Millions of Australians own a mobile phone sold by the man in our next story. John Ilhan's wealth is extraordinary, so too his rags to riches story. And the man who trades as Crazy John has invited us to his home and broken his silence on a personal secret that almost ruined him.
My parents are from Turkey. I was born in Turkey and they came to Australia when I was 5. We lived in a working class suburb called Broadmeadows. When I was in grade 6, it got tough because I got teased a bit, got called wog and all that sort of stuff. Then when I was leaving grade 6 to go into high school, one of my teachers said, "Oh, Danny, well done, you know, good luck, have a great life, you'll be fantastic. Susan, good luck to you. Tom, good luck, all the best. And as for you, young man, who knows where you're going to end up, probably jail."
Was it tough being the son of immigrants?
I had to always prove myself to be Australian for some reason. It was, do I deserve to be here? I have to make something of my life because Mum and Dad struggled so much. And this country's given me opportunities that Turkey would never have given me. Back in 1991, during the recession, I said, I'll open a little shop and I'll sell phones. I mean, how dumb was I? See, so when you're young and naive, you take a punt, it can work out for you.
That business was mobile phones. Back then, no one knew whether they would take off.
First 5 years of the business and my life, I actually don't remember. It's a blur. Because I spent all day, all night in the shop, worrying about every cent. I used to sleep in the store, on the floor.
He was the first to sell a mobile phone for $1. His business plan was simple: sell product as cheaply as possible.
I worked hard.
But this success story is also a tale of tragedy.
I lost my brother 10 years ago. He died.
What impact did your brother's death have on you?
It changed me. It changed me. I think I had some form of depression, possibly. I could not get out of bed. I didn't want to go to work. I hated life. I didn't want to know anything about business, didn't care about friends, family. I was just too worried about my own mental situation.
John's brother Gerald was a bouncer. An autopsy was never conducted, but the family suspects he committed suicide.
Most of the competition would actually leave notes on my car saying, "Now you're finished," because they knew that I was struggling with the passing of my brother. Would you believe it? So I changed. I became more aggressive, more driven to prove a point. Back to the old teacher back in primary school, back to my competitors. So I said, that's never going to happen again. And the first thing I did, I proposed to my wife.
Patricia is John's wife. They first met when she worked for Telstra, looking after his account.
I'll never forget, as they handed the manila folder over to me with all his details, the previous rep said, "It's a really small account. He'll never amount to anything."
Back then, did you ever imagine that you'd be sitting here in this house and your husband would be worth more than $300 million?
To be honest, that thought never crossed my mind, no.
And you designed the house?
I did, in conjunction with my architects, and I said I wanted it to be something very special, almost in recognition of what John had achieved. They have a theatre, we have a gym and the sauna.
Can you use the gym?
Oh, can't you tell?
Yeah.
So Trish and I would put the kids to bed, come down here with our popcorn and chips and drinks and whatever, and then we'd put a great movie on and just sit here all night watching movies. And if the kids did wake up, we'd actually hear them through the intercom.
Patricia and John have 4 children. The latest member of the family is 8-month-old Aiden. Patricia, how important is money to you and your family?
It's important in terms of the opportunities and the freedoms that it gives us in life. There is no doubt that having money gives you choices that you would otherwise not have without the money. But at the end of the day, my relationship with John and our relationship with the children, to me, is far more important than any money. And John knows that. John knows that I would walk out with the clothes on my back if there was ever an issue between him and me.
John is now worth $300 million, owns 120 stores and employs more than 600 staff. Make no mistake though, John Ilhan is no pushover. After selling Telstra products for 15 years, he took the telco to court, claiming they hadn't paid him enough for signing up customers.
If a corporation has done an injustice by him, he would seek justice, whatever that might be, and he's a very, very patient man. So he's happy to wait however long it takes for justice to happen.
It was a bitter split, settled out of court, reportedly costing him $7 million.
I just like winning most things.
John's migrant background and the sudden death of his brother have made life tough, but they've also driven his need to succeed. He now dreams of one day being the biggest telco in Australia. You can't help but think it just might happen.
If you don't love success, you'll never achieve anything.
Words to live by, and John Ilhan certainly does that.